Headlines are saying home sales fell in January. And if you're thinking about selling your house, that's probably not the news that you're going to want to hear. But here's the truth, this is not a story about demand falling, it's a story about seasonality and weather. And I want to explain that clearly because if you misunderstand what happened in January, you can make the wrong move in 2026. Let's break this down nationally first, and then I'm going to bring it home to Sarasota and Manatee County. Welcome to Living the Florida's Lifestyle podcast. Hello there. I'm Michael Baker with the Baker Global Team. We are realtors with Remax Alliance Group serving Sarasota and Manatee counties here in Florida. Hey, today we're going to talk about what actually happened in January, what the numbers really mean, what builders are doing, what mortgage activity it's going to show us, and then we're going to dive into our local market right here on Florida's Gulf Coast. Let's start with the big headline of the day. Existing home sales fell in January. Pending sales slipped slightly as well. But here's what gets left out of those headlines. January is almost always slower. After the holiday activity, typically cools. Now, that's normal. You can look back over the last several years and see that January often shows a dip before things pick back up in February and March. This year, however, that seasonal slowdown was amplified by severe winter weather across much of the country. It even snowed here in Florida. Now, when you have storms shutting down inspections, delaying appraisals, postponing final walkthroughs, and pushing back closings, those transactions don't disappear. They just get delayed. And this is a big difference. Delayed does not mean canceled. It does not mean buyers have vanished. It means logistics were interrupted. And history tells us that February and March tend to rebound once weather improves and activity resumes. Hey, so don't confuse a weather impacted month with a market losing steam. In fact, there are signs demand is still very much alive. Mortgage applications, for new homes jumped significantly in January compared to December, and then purchase originations are projected to increase over the next 2 years. Refinances are expected to rebound strongly if rates soften even modestly, and that tells us buyers are still watching, they're still preparing, they're still entering the market cautiously. And now let's talk about supply. Housing construction ended 2025 on an upswing. Housing starts increased, permits increased, and completions increased. But economists are very clear about something. Construction in 2026 is expected to remain very measured. It's not collapsing, definitely not surging, it's measured. Mortgage rates above 6%, land costs, labor shortages, and construction expenses are keeping builders cautious. Now, builder confidence has dipped below the neutral level for several months. But here's what's interesting, fewer builders are cutting prices outright. Instead, many are offering incentives, mortgage rate buydowns, closing cost assistance. Hey, they're giving you 20, 30, $40,000 in design upgrade packages. The builders are adjusting their strategy instead of slashing prices. Now, that matters because it means we are unlikely to see a sudden flood of inventory that crashes our market. Supply is increasing carefully. Now, let's layer that in with affordability. Since 2019, home prices nationally have risen more than 50%, while incomes have risen far, far less. Now, that gap created affordability pressure. And that's why builders are designing smaller homes. They're adding flex spaces instead of square footage. Hey, they're focusing on efficiency and value. But even without affordability challenge, mortgage originations are projected to rebound over the next 2 years as well. That tells me demand is restrained, not gone. Hey, let's now talk about what's going on here locally in Sarasota and Manatee County. In Sarasota County, single family home sales in January were actually slightly up this year. Median price came down to around $490,000. Inventory sitting around about a 5 month supply. That's very close to a balanced market. It's not a strong seller's market. It's not a strong buyer's market. It's a balanced market. And almost half of those transactions were cash. Now, that's important because cash buyers are indicating strength and stability, where median time to contract is just under 2 months and median time to close is just over 3 months. So that means we're not in a panic behavior. This is normalization. Now, you look over here at what Manatee County did. Our closed sales were actually down nearly 10%. year over year, but our median price held steady. Our inventory is just under a 5 month supply, and that's still relatively tight. Our time to contract is a bit longer than Sarasota, but again, this is an orderly market. Buyers are definitely more deliberate. They're negotiating, but they're still buying. And now let's talk about what's going on in our condo market because this is where opportunity exists. In Sarasota, our condo inventory is significantly higher than single family. And that's creating leverage for buyers. Prices have definitely softened in that segment. Cash purchases are dominating. So if you're a buyer looking at maintenance-free living, you want to live on the waterfront, you want to live on the beaches, you want to live in Lakewood Ranch, condos or 55 plus communities, this is your segment. This is where you're negotiating and you're dealing with a realtor who knows how to negotiate. That's where your power comes from. Our manatee condos show a similar pattern. Now we have more supply. We definitely have more flexibility because with the supply, and there's way more opportunity. Now here's the number I want you to really want to pay attention to. Pending sales. Pending sales in both Sarasota and Manatee jumped significantly year over year. And pending sales are a leading indicator. These are contracts that are going to become closed sales in the next 30 to 60 days. Now, this suggests spring momentum is building right now. So, now let's talk about something that doesn't get enough attention. It's our Florida migration. People are still moving here. We don't have a state income tax. Our weather, it's pretty beautiful. You can live on the coast, you can live in the middle of the state, you can live on a golf course. We've got waterfront living, we've got golf course communities, we've got 55 plus neighborhoods. We've got walkable downtowns. We've got walkable farmers markets and lifestyle in their villages of Lakewood Ranch. We've got resort lifestyle communities being built all over the area. I mean, from North River Ranch down to Lakewood Ranch, down to Palmer Ranch, down into Venice, down to the Welland area. If you go down there east of 75, you got plenty of villages. You want to look for a village, a community, a resort. They've got resort pools. They've got restaurants on site. It's a lifestyle. And we're seeing boomers that are moving here. They're selling their homes they've lived in for years up in the Northeast, up in the Midwest. And they're relocating here because, hey, it's a great way to live. And they're offering because they've sold their homes. They've owned them for so much. They had equity. They're coming down there and can pay cash. What we're seeing is downsizing from our larger family homes into our maintenance-free communities, the villas, the townhomes, because we have a lot of people that still want to be snowbirds. They want to have their home down here, but they want to maintain their lifestyle up north as well in the summer. So we're seeing a lot of lock and leave buyers where they're coming down here for the winter. They're staying here 4 to 6 months and they're back up north for 4 to 6 months. There's a lifestyle migration, and lifestyle migration is definitely more durable. Add to that everything happening here locally. Hey, just this weekend, we've got the Bradenton Regatta. They got those little speedboats flying right up and down the river. We've got the state fair just finished. We had the Manatee Fair that just finished. We got the Sarasota Fair. It's getting ready to start. We've got plenty of farmers markets, spring festivals. We've got the Sarasota Orchestra. We got the opera. We've got everything that's happening out on the beach festivities. We've got Anna Maria Island. You just go out there, plunk a chair down the ground, and enjoy the sunsets. We get a sunset every night, and they're free. Take it up to Holmes Beach, Bradenton Beach, down to Longboat Key, St. Armand Circle, Siesta Key, go down to Turtle Beach, go on down to Venice Beach. You can search for shells, you can search for shark teeth, plenty of things to do. And when you get tired of that, you go out to Mayaca State Park, and you go look at the alligators and the glass bottom boats. We got plenty of things to do. Our Sarasota events, you're bored, it's your fault. People just are not moving here because of a spreadsheet. They're coming here because, well, our lifestyle. And that demand is definitely going to remain intact. Oh, what's that mean for you? If you're a buyer, you've got plenty of options. You've got time, but as the spring heats up, more and more buyers hit the market. These homes are going to sell. So take advantage of your negotiating power now, because once the market heats, we'll be balanced, but it's going to be harder to get prices down. And if you're a seller, price it right. Price it aggressively. You want to get sold. You don't want to just sit on the market. The strategy matters. Talk with a realtor that knows the market, knows the area, is not afraid to work hard for you to get the right price. We're not giving houses away, but we also don't want to price them where you sit too long. Presentation matters. You want to make sure your house is ready to be sold. Pictures, walkthroughs, videos. We want to make sure that when your buyer from up north comes down, they've already seen the house, they're ready to walk through and make an offer. There are serious buyers that are still active. Don't let our January weather headlines scare you into thinking demand disappeared. It didn't. It definitely did not a crash. Florida market is wide open and we're ready for business. It's not a freeze. It's a transition. We're back to balance. And a balanced market's creating opportunity. So, if you're thinking about buying or selling here in our Sarasota and Manatee County markets this year, hey, let's have a data-driven conversation. Visit my website, mikebakerremax.com. Schedule a consultation. Call, text me. Let's talk. Spring is already building momentum. Spring training is here, and the best decisions are usually made before the rush begins. Hey, once again, I'm Michael Baker. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on Living the Florida Lifestyle.